A lot of dentists think they need a wand to do dental magic, but you don't always need a wand. Let me show you how. Hi, this is DrTiv, and let's talk about anesthesia. Now, we all like to think that we do painless anesthesia. Why do we think that? Because our patients tell us so. They usually say, I didn't feel a thing, it was amazing. But the truth is that not every one of our patients says this. And there's some areas that are really uncomfortable, like the roof of the mouth, the palate, or the upper anterior area, just under the lip there. Those areas, no matter what we do, there's always going to be some level of discomfort. Now, I do everything I can in my practice to make sure that it's as painless as possible. We use topical that's stronger than normal, we use the gated theory of pain, we use hypnosis, we use distraction, we use slow technique, and we use new needle tips every single time. So we never go into the tissue with the same tip. That makes it super sharp and it makes it more comfortable for the patients. So here I am thinking that I'm amazing at anesthesia, I do it really slow, people can't feel anything, and this is the best that it can be. And that was until the good people at Septodont sent me the Dentapen. Now, the Dentapen is an automated anesthesia delivery system. It's quite small, it's about 40 grams in weight. And they sent it to me saying, DrTiv, you got a YouTube channel, why don't you review our product? It's a sample unit, so have a play with it for a few weeks and send it back to us. And that's when I realized that even though I was slow at anesthesia, I could be slower again. So the golden standard for delivering anesthesia that's pain-free and doesn't cause tissue damage is about 1 mil in 60 seconds. So in a 2.2 mil cartridge, which is normal for most of us, that's about 2.5 minutes. So that's 2.5 minutes of delivering anesthesia for one cartridge. Now, the research also shows that most of us dentists will deliver that same 2.2 mils within 20 to 30 seconds. And that's 4 times as fast as what the golden standard is. Now, I've tried to do that with my hand for 2.5 minutes, and I've got to say that that's a very long time to be doing it manually, and you need micro control of your muscles in order to get that done. It's possible, but it's really difficult to do. And that's where I found this was something that I'd started picking up over and over again, even though I thought I didn't need it. Now, I've looked at these anesthesia devices before, and there's other brands out there as well. But the reason I really stopped and didn't use it was for two. One, I thought I did it slow enough. And secondly, I didn't like all the disposable things that you had to buy with the other units, and you're trapped in their ecosystem. I didn't like that you had to use their tips. I didn't like you need to use their cables. I didn't like that you had to have these big bulky devices, and to move them from room to room was going to be quite difficult to use. So Septodont, with their Dentapen, have actually got around that. They've got a light unit. They have these cartridges that you put your anesthesia in. These are plastic and autoclavable, and you can use any brand of anesthesia that you want. So you can pop that in there, and you can use any tip as well, as long as it's got a locking mechanism, which all of them do for our typical LA syringes. You can pop that in there as well. Now, it comes with 2 types of grips. You've got the pen grip, which is that one there, and you get 2 of those in this box. And you get the syringe grip, which is a typical syringe grip that you'd use. Now, there's 5 of this in the box, and I wish I actually changed it around the other way. I'd have preferred 5 of the pen grips if I could, because I found that I ended up liking these a lot more than the actual syringe grips. And that was a surprise to me, because I've been using syringe grips for over a decade, and I thought that would be what I'd be used to. But I found that with the pen grip, it's just more comfortable, and you can hold it for longer without getting fatigue in your arms. So that's a really nice touch that I didn't even realize it. When you do the anesthesia slow enough or as long enough, having the pen grip and not having to actually control your muscles means that it's kinder on you as a clinician. So if you do it over and over again throughout the whole day, you're not going to get fatigued. So you've got the unit, it basically clicks in like that, and it's good to go. There's only 5 buttons on here. There's the on-off button to start the actual dispensing of the anesthesia. There's the on-off button. There's the return button. So once you finish, you push and it brings it all the way back. And there's 2 buttons here. One of them is to do with how fast the anesthesia is delivered. So there's 3 settings. It's either 1 mil in 30 seconds, 1 mil in 60 seconds, which is the gold standard, or 1 mil in 90 seconds. The button down the bottom here has got 2 modes. It's got the ramp up mode, so it starts even slower again and it goes faster, or it's got the constant flow mode as well, or the strength mode, so it's the same strength the whole time during delivery. That's all you need. It's just a very simple device. It uses a battery in the end, and one of these batteries, which is the 2CR1/3N, is something you just need to buy. Apparently you can get 200 uses for every battery, and in 3 weeks, the 5 surgeries that we haven't had to replace any of the batteries, or the battery in the unit that we had. So that was the other thing I really liked about these, is that even though you've got multiple surgeries, you don't need to buy one for each one. I think 1 for 5 surgeries is probably a bit too much. I think 2 for 5 would have been nice. So one of these for every 3 surgeries is, I think, the sweet spot to make it usable. Basically put a bag over this, so the electronic part is protected. You don't want to autoclave that, but the grip and the holder here is all autoclavable. Now, they're both plastics. They do break down after some time. We found that after a few weeks of autoclaving, we got cracks in the plastic housing. Apparently it's normal and it happens with plastics, but as long as it's not, you can't feel the crack, you can use it, but eventually it will break down. I would have loved to see a metal version of this with a cutout so you can see aspiration, and that way it's truly reusable. You can just reuse all parts in this and not have to worry about it breaking down over time. I do like the clear part though. You can show the aspirations. So with one tip, so you can click and click again, you get aspirations to make sure you're not in the arteries or veins. So your anesthesia is delivered to where you want it to be and not wasted in a blood vessel, which might cause, tachycardia for some patients because of the adrenaline in some of the anesthetics. The other thing that I really liked about it is not only is it that you can put it together fast, but it standardizes the anesthesia techniques by all clinicians of the practice. So no longer as an owner do I need to worry about the anesthesia techniques of one clinician to the other, and if patients like one person more than the other in terms of anesthesia. If this is set correctly and used properly, then everyone will have the exact same LA technique and you'll have standardized anesthesia in the practice. And we all know that giving painless anesthesia is the biggest practice builder of them all. That and communication techniques. So that is another thing I really enjoyed about this. So in summary, I like that it's light. I like I can use a pen grip. It's not fatiguing my arm. I don't have to worry about buying disposable parts that are locked in. The only thing I need to worry about is the battery for every 200 uses and these clear syringes. I'm not sure how often, but probably every 6 or 12 months. And I think they're about $150 for a pack of 5. And apart from that, I'm good to go with a unit that delivers anesthesia at the rate that's recommended and at the pressure that's recommended as well. You don't want to go above 20 kilograms per centimeter squared in terms of applying pressure. And most dentists do double or quadruple that. So in between 40 and 80 kilograms of pressure per centimeter squared. So you're going to find your patients not only have a pleasant experience when you're applying the anesthesia, but post-operative as well. They're not going to get tissue damage. So you're not going to feel uncomfortable afterwards going, oh, that area is sore for another week afterwards because you've damaged it by applying too much pressure in that area. So what would I do if I was you? I would call Septodont or your company that supplies the Septodont products and ask them for a trial if they'll let you do it. Because I didn't think I needed this beforehand and I've got to return this. But now that I've tried and so have the other clinicians, we just find that we pick these up more often than we thought we would. Especially in areas where they were traditionally uncomfortable, in the palate, anterior areas under the lip, in the buccal region. We just found if we wanted to use those areas, we would want these because we'd have the confidence that we could deliver this anesthesia painlessly. So ask them, give them a trial, see how you go, and go from there. So I hope you like that Septodont. I now got to return this back to you, but if you want to give me a few, I'm not going to complain because if you don't, I might have to buy some myself. This is DrTiv, over and out.